I'm super excited to bring this recipe to you guys so you can stick within your fitness goals and still get snatched, but make sure that we're having fun with it too. So if you want to know how I make this recipe and how I create my protein donuts, make sure you stay tuned and keep watching. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're doing a video where I'm going to be adding a series on my channel called Syvae'S Snatched Kitchen. So along my fitness journey, I like to spice things up, make things a little bit fun so we're not bored in the kitchen. So I wanted to create a series that reflects that. So today we're going to be starting off the series with one of my favorite recipes of all time, which is my protein donuts. So I'm super excited to bring this recipe to you guys so you can stick within your fitness goals and still get snatched, but make sure that we're having fun with it too. So if you want to know how I make this recipe and how I create my protein donuts, make sure you stay tuned and keep watching. Let's get into our video. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that you have all of your supplies. So you want to make sure that you have your protein powder. The protein powder that I'm going to be using is from Herbalife. So I am going to be using the Herbalife protein powder, and I'm going to be using the chocolate protein powder, and then I'm also going to be using our shake mix, which is just a regular vanilla. So those are going to be the two things that I'm going to be using. You also want to make sure you have your milk of choice. I am using almond milk, so that is my milk of choice, and this is vanilla flavored. I do have some baking soda, baking powder, and then also you want to have a sugar-free Jello mix. So that's going to make this recipe so much better. So you want to make sure you have that as well. And again, I'm going to put all this in the description box below. So if you want to make sure that you have all the items and everything that you need in order to create your protein donuts at home, all the products that I'm going to be using today will be linked down in this description box below. So make sure you check the description box to get all the information about what you'll need to make your protein donuts at home. So that's just some of the things that we're going to be using. The main ingredients is going to be our Herbalife shake mix. So that's what we're going to be using. So the first thing that we want to do is turn our oven on so that can preheat while we mix everything up. And then we are going to get into everything else. So we're going to turn the oven on to 350. Next, I'm going to grab my eggs out of the fridge because I did not grab those. So we're going to get our eggs. So we have our eggs. And typically when I do this, I like to mix my wet ingredients together and my dry ingredients together and then mix them together because it makes the donuts much fluffier. So that's what we're going to start with. So let's start with our dry ingredients first. So we have our regular Formula 1, and this is our standard vanilla. So we're going to do 1/4 of a scoop of our Formula 1. So you're going to take your measuring spoon, you're going to get 1/4 of a cup. And you're going to add that in for your dry ingredients. Then we're going to take our protein powder. And this is chocolate flavor. You can use whatever flavor you like to. Chocolate is the only one that I had this time, so I'm just going to use chocolate. We're going to get 1/4 of that as well. And we're going to dump that right in to our mix with our vanilla. We are going to get our flour. I like to use self-rising flour. I've done it with almond flour as well, depending on your preference. It just depends on what you would like to do. We're going to do 1/2 scoop of that. Being a little ratchet, my 1/2 scoop broke, so I have to get another one. In there, 1/2 scoop. All right. This, you can use a sugar alternative. For me, because I am making it a little bit fun, I don't really take too much thought or put too much thought into the sugar aspect. So I do use brown sugar, but if you want to use stevia, if you want to use monk fruit, that is also a good alternative. You can use that as well. So I'm just taking 1 tablespoon. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of my brown sugar. We have that. We have our sugar-free Jell-O pudding mix, and this I want to say is cheesecake. I dumped it in and I didn't put the label in, so I don't remember what it is, but I believe this is cheesecake. So we're also going to take our, well, now this is dirty, so we're gonna just take a 1/2 teaspoon. We're just gonna add 6 scoops of that in there. All right, so now we have baking powder. We're gonna use a 1/2 teaspoon for that. And then we have baking soda, and we're gonna do a 1/4 teaspoon for that. So that is pretty much our dry ingredients. Now I do have cocoa powder. This is optional. You can add cocoa powder if you want a more chocolatey donut. So I am gonna add a little bit of cocoa powder, and I'm just gonna use that same 1/2 teaspoon and add about 2 of these for our cocoa powder. Maybe 3. So we have 3 of that. And then we're gonna go ahead and close that up. I also do have chocolate chips. I'm thinking about melting down some chocolate chips to add on top as a drizzle, like an icing type of thing. So that's why I have my chocolate chips. So we have all of our dry ingredients in our bowl. And then we are just going to take our fork and we're going to mix everything together. All right, so our dry ingredients is mixed, so we're gonna set that off to the side, and then we're gonna work on our wet ingredients. So we need 2 eggs. I'm using white eggs, you can use brown eggs, whichever you choose. And then we're also going to need a 1/2 cup of almond milk, or your milk of choice. If you wanna use regular milk, that's completely fine. I'm not really a regular milk type of person. I love almond milk, so that's what I use. We're gonna take a half a cup of that, and we're gonna pour that in. For your vanilla, I just use whatever. You can measure it, you don't have to measure it. I just pour what I think is a good amount. And then I'm actually gonna add in a little bit of our skinny syrup, and this flavor is caramel cream cheesecake. So I'm gonna add this in there as well. Give us a little different flavor. And again, I'm not measuring. You can measure if you like, but I just add what I think is enough. So you wanna add your egg. And now that you have your wet ingredients, wash off my fingers. Now we're going to mix up our wet ingredients. And I'm like a neat freak, so I need to like clean as I go. And I'm like making a mess. Throw that in the sink. All right, let's kind of like clean up our station here because we have a lot going on. And now we are going to mix our wet ingredients. All right, so we have our wet ingredients and we have our dry ingredients. So we're gonna take them and we're gonna mix them. I typically just pour the wet on top, slowly but surely, mixing it in. So that way it's not too much at one time. And once you have all that in, you just wanna mix everything together and make sure you have a smooth batter consistency. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix this all together. And then once I get it mixed, then I'll go ahead and add a little bit of our chocolate chips that we have. Like I said, everything will be linked down below as far as like where you can get certain items from. Some things you can get from the grocery store. Some things I ordered offline, I wanna say. No, some things you can get from the grocery store. Some things you can get from Target, TJ Maxx or Marshalls, which is where I got this from. Other items you can get from, Aldi's, if you go to Walmart. And I'm not really like a baker, so I don't have like all the baker tools and all that stuff, but we make it work. But the one reason why I really love these is because they're such a great protein snack. They're so filling as a snack. So if you like to snack a lot throughout the day and you want a healthier alternative and you have a sweet tooth especially, these donuts will be perfect for you. So that's one reason why I do like them, especially for my ladies. When it's that time of the month, you already know how it goes. You're like, you want everything chocolate, you want everything sweet, you want everything that you're not supposed to have, especially if you're trying to get to those snatched goals. So this would definitely help you with craving that sweet tooth, but also sticking within, like if you're doing macros, sticking within your macros and making this friendly for your healthier lifestyle. So you want to get it nice and smooth. As you can see, we're getting it smooth, getting all the clumps. Now some of the clumps will still be in there, which is completely fine. It's not going to mess up your donuts or anything like that. But you want to get it as smooth as you possibly can. That's our oven. Our oven just went off. All right, so now we are going to add some chocolate chips. Now I'm going to get a tablespoon. We're just gonna put a tablespoon of chocolate chips in there, sprinkle them out, maybe a tablespoon and a half. Sprinkle those out throughout there. I absolutely love these containers. I got these from Walmart and it's the best decision that I've ever made. Now I'm looking for ones for these because I think I want to order some off of Amazon. They have like a wooden top and I'm going to use those to put that in there. So, because my apartment for whatever reason has like a lot of moisture. So in these containers, the moisture gets inside of these containers because they're not really suctioned good enough. And they start to clump, so we're gonna have to work on that. So we have our chocolate chips mixed in. And guys, literally, if you wanna make donuts, you can make waffles, you can make, what else have I made? I already said muffins, donuts, waffles, pancakes, like, it's endless. Like, and I'm going to be tagging my girl Melissa Gibbs. She also has a YouTube channel here on YouTube, and she also does create healthier meal alternatives. So we are kind of doing a collab with the video. So I'm going to make a recipe and she's going to make a recipe. So I'll tag her down below. So that way you guys can go subscribe to her channel and get some bomb recipes. She made a pizza out of our products and I am so dying to try that recipe. So I'll tag her down below so you guys can go subscribe to her channel. She also does other things. She does the healthy alternatives as far as meals and things that you can cook for yourself, for your family, other things like that. She makes bomb-ass lit teas like I do, so I'm super excited for that as well. I'm going to be bringing more recipes on here with this series, so I'm super excited to bring this to my channel because I do love to cook. Like, when I'm in that mood, like I'll be in the mood to like really cook something and whip something up in the kitchen, and I'm like, oh, this would be a good recipe. So I want to bring my healthy recipes to you guys to give you guys some different options and choices that you can make even while you are living a healthier, active lifestyle, because it doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be, oh, I have to eat lettuce, I have to eat vegetables, I have to eat this, I have to eat that. We still incorporate all those healthier alternatives and healthier options into our meals, but we just make it a little bit fun, you know? Like, why not make it fun? Because if it's a lifestyle, you want to be able to maintain the lifestyle and not just be, you know, a short-term thing. You want it to be long-term. So why not make it fun? Why not spice it up? Why not create some different recipes in order to do that too? So I love making new recipes. I love trying new things. Sometimes they come out as a hit, sometimes they come out as a bust, but hey, we try. But these donuts for sure are a hit. So you definitely want to try to make these at home and get the ingredients in order to make this stuff. So your batter should look something a little like this, nice and thick, nice and smooth. All right. Now, because I don't have the little silicone spoons that bakers normally use, I kind of have to like make sure I get all of my product off so we're not wasting anything. And we get every single drop, because we do not like to waste stuff around here. All right, so we're gonna set this off to the side. Run some water in your bowl so that way stuff doesn't get stuck. All right, so we have that. So now we're gonna take our donut pan. You can also get these from Walmart. You can order them off of Amazon, whichever you choose. If you're an Amazon Prime type of person, go ahead and get the link, click it. I'll actually create a link for you guys to be able to click it. If you guys want to use these. Some people use silicone donut pans. This is a metal donut pan that I got from Walmart. Whatever is your choice, you can use it. They all work great. So I have my metal pan, and we are going to spray our pan with some non-stick spray. This is also from Walmart, and this is just extra virgin olive oil spray. We're just gonna spray each of our donuts. And this recipe makes 6 donuts. So if you want to have more donuts, then just double the recipe. So what am I looking for? We have this, and then you also wanna get a ice cream scooper. So this is like one of the mini ice cream scoopers. And I also got this from Walmart, and this is such a game changer when scooping your donuts inside of your pan, because when I tell you trying to use a spoon to get the mix and then it's sticking to the spoon, it's doing all of this, and it's just too much. It's just way too much. So this is a lifesaver. If you don't have this, you need it, especially if you're gonna be making these donuts, because it is the best thing ever. So I'm gonna bring you guys a little bit closer so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So we have our pan, everything is nice and sprayed. We're gonna take our mix, and I like to make sure everything is even. So I start with 1 scoop. And I'll give each donut 1 scoop. And then we'll make our way around. Now, I don't really mind about getting it over the whole part, because sometimes if I'm stuffing the donuts, then I like to have the middle so it can hold the toppings that I'm gonna be putting. Like, I really wanted to make a s'mores donut, but I'm doing really like sugar stuff. So if you want to do s'mores donut, you can go and get some graham crackers. You can go and get some marshmallows and do like your s'mores toppings. That would be absolutely delicious. So I'm definitely going to try that one of these days. If you want coconut flakes, you can get coconut flakes. Place those on top, sprinkle those on top for a nice little topping. You can really get creative with these things. So literally, like, whatever you have in mind, you know, do your thing, get creative, make it fun. That's the most important part. So each has 2 scoops. Now I'm gonna try to even this out because there's only a little bit left for each one to get another scoop. Gotta scrape those edges. Running out. This is why I need that spatula. But hey, it is what it is. So once you have your donut mix inside of the pan, I'm gonna put this in the sink. You're just gonna even it out. So I like to just take the back of the ice cream scoop and just make sure everything is even around. There's no like holes or anything or separation in between the batter. Just make sure everything is nice and even. Like I said, if you wanna make sure the hole is exposed, you can not go on top of the hole and just go around. But if you're gonna be topping it, it's a great topping holder, if that makes sense. So it's good to hold all of those yummy toppings that you wanna add on top. So we're just gonna make sure everything is nice and even. Oops, got it all around. These don't have as much as the other side, but it's okay. And the reason why I use self-rising flour instead of almond flour is because it makes the donut so much more fluffy, so much more filling. But again, you can choose, you know, if you are on a restricted type of diet and you do not include certain things, you can go based off of your dietary needs. But I personally love the self-rising flour so much better. Or you can use cake flour or, you know, whatever you choose. So now that everything is nice and even, I'm gonna take a paper towel and just wipe the edge, because I don't know, I just like to make sure. Okay, that didn't really work too much, but you know. All right, so everything is nice and even. Everything is in the pan. And we are going to go ahead and put these in the oven. Normally I set the timer for about 12 minutes. And then I check them. If something comes out on the fork, then I'll leave them back. I'll put them back in for another like 3 or 4 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and pop these in the oven and put them on 12 minutes. Okay, so our donuts are in the oven. Don't mind the angle. I was trying to, all right, let me push this back a little bit. Guys, I need to get a full-length tripod because this little mini tripod is not doing it for me. All right, so our donuts are in the oven. We have them on 12 minutes. So once those finish out of the oven, we're gonna pull them out, let them cool, and then we are going to enjoy our donuts. So I'm gonna come back to you guys when everything is finished with the final product so you can see what they look like. But guys, when I tell you this is like literally one of my favorite recipes, especially when I'm craving something a little bit sweet. So good, so good, so good, so good, so good, so good. So we're gonna let those stay in the oven 12 minutes, now 11 minutes. And then when they finish and I take them out, I'll come back to you guys and show you what the final product looks like. All right, so our donuts are out of the oven. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my pan so that way I can flip them on top of the pan and let them cool that way. So normally I just get a baking sheet, and this is from TJ Maxx and it's rose gold pink. That's why I got it. So we're gonna set this here. Now I had to let them stay in a little bit longer, so I put 6 more minutes to the timer because they weren't done just yet. So in total for these, they took 16 minutes. So we have our donuts. We're just gonna flip them and let them pop out. And then you just let them cool. Here are our donuts, our chocolate donuts. I'm super excited to eat these. Oh my goodness, they look so good. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I definitely appreciate it. This is my series that I'm super excited to continue on my channel, Syvae'S Snatched Kitchen. Make sure you guys stay tuned for the next upload in this series so you can get some healthy recipes to do at home and stick within your healthier lifestyle, but also to help you stay snatched. So again, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And I thank you for popping in today and cooking with me. But if you guys have any questions about anything, make sure you check the description box below for all of the items that I used today and where you can get them from. But again, thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.